Got some new bars from a man like Andy Smith.
Yeah, it's 2025 duvet, man.
He's correct. It is 2025. Who do you say? It's Duvet Man. I am Duvet Man.
Yeah, it's 2025 duvet, man.
You look boiling, mate. That might be
the tablet.
Hedgehog, man, Ginge, so...
That's me. I'm Hedgehog Man. That's me.
YouTube, it is what it is. Let me ask you a question anyway, Ginge, yeah?
You can ask me a question, yeah?
So...
Oh, wait a minute. You've miscounted your bars. It's an 8-bar intro, not a 4-bar intro. So you've asked if you can ask a question. Now you're going to have to awkwardly wait 4 bars till the beat comes in. I'd just start the video again, but you know, I'm a chance.
Yeah, this boy's on fire. All right.
You're on fire. You do look warm. It's probably because you're in a flat on Charlie with an actual furry quilt wrapped around you like it's some form of coat.
Yo, Ginge, what's your problem?
His problem was... Actually, let's run it through once and then we'll do a lyrical breakdown.
Are you with Sam and Kurt Cock Goblin? You full of nonsense, you lot of nonsense. Has he told you about the times that I've robbed him? Now this year, guess what? I squished Fatty in that little hedgehog. Go to Wall's End and be taking their heads off. I'll end you like Manny Habib with the leg.
I don't think Andy Smith's phone records for longer than 60 seconds, you know, and I'm starting to genuinely believe that.
Yes, 20.
Right, lyrical breakdown. It's fire in the poof.
5 duvet, man.
Fire in the douche.
All talking, Simon Kirk, Hedgehog, man, Ginge, so...
Fire in the damp. Damp in the booth. It's damp in the booth. Damp in the booth.
YouTube, it is what it is. Let me ask you a question anyway, Ginge, yeah? So...
And here's a 4-bar awkward wait.
Yeah, this boy's on fire. All right.
Schoolboy era.
Yo, Ginge, what's your problem?
Right, okay, so he said, yo, Ginge, what's your problem? Ginge's problem is that you told him that if he had won a fight against a novice at a bare knuckle show, then his next fight would be for BKFC. You told him he was fighting somebody who'd been beat a few times and wasn't very good, when in actual fact he was fighting somebody that already had a 7-0 bare knuckle record, all of which Manny had won in the first round, I do believe, and 3 boxing matches that he won as well, gloved fights. So you set him up. That was Ginger's problem with you, and nobody would do that to a friend.
Now you with Sam and Kurt Cock Goblin.
I don't think he's given Simon a nosh. If he has, Simon's kept that one quiet. But I tell you what, Simon probably will be happy with your interpretation of how big Simon's willy is. Because as you can see there, from your mime, that is clearly, Simon's clearly got a 2-hander. Now, a 2-hander, that's quite impressive. That quite often on the videos that are on those other sites on the internet that I never go to. But my friends have told me about them. And apparently a 2-hander with a female is less of a compliment than 2-hander with a male because guys have much bigger hands than females. Right? So, yeah. Sorry, wait. In this moment, Andy, you're pretending to nosh off Simon Kirk in your dad's living room, sweating with a quilt around you like it's a coat. Just think about that for a second. Because it's a lot to take in. Like Simon's, it looks like Simon's a lot to take in as well. Go on, son.
Cock Goblin, you full of nonsense, you lot of nonsense.
What? It's full of what?
You lot of nonsense.
What does he say before you lot of nonsense?
You full of nonsense, you lot of nonsense.
Full of nonsense, you lot of nonsense. Who's a nonce?
Goblin, you full of nonsense, you lot of nonsense.
You've just pretended to nosh one off. What is it, air guitar? You were sucking air tiddler with 2 hands?
Has he told you about the times that I've robbed him? Now this year...
Robbed who? Because you definitely haven't robbed Simon Kirk. And if you did rob that quilt off Lewis, can you give him it back, please? In fact, he probably doesn't want it back now. Ugh. Imagine what he's pretending to do in that quilt when he's not on camera.
Guess what?
What? You know what? I couldn't take that challenge. If it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and the question was for 20 quid and it was, can you guess what? And you were asking the question, my answer would be, probably not, mate. No, probably not. I've got no idea what you're going to say next.
I squished Fatty in that little hedgehog. Go to Wall's End.
You what? You square what?
That little hedgehog. I squished Fatty in that little hedgehog.
You'll squish Fatty. Well, you were squishing it there with both hands, remember? And your mouth. That's it. That's multi-talented. That is proof that a double Glazeman salesman with a quilt around himself in a damp flat can multitask, if nothing else.
Now this year, guess what?
What?
I squished Fatty in that little hedgehog.
You'll squish Fatty and that little hedgehog. Or did you say you'll squish Fatty into that little hedgehog? Because if you're going to put that big chopper thing you pretend to have in your hands before in little me, then I'm scared. If you're saying that you're going to squish with You're probably not. I've never heard of anybody trying to run somebody over in the passenger side of their best friend's ride. Because you can't drive, can you, Andrew?
Go to Wall's End and be taking their heads off.
You go to Wall's End and you take some heads off, big lad. Please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Don't turn up in that suit because they'll chin you for wearing that suit. In fact, you'd look more in place in Wall's End walking around with that quilt round you than you would in a suit.
Alan, do you like Manny Habib with the leg?
So that was after Lewis came on live with me just to set the record straight. After me and Lewis had been talking on Facebook. And, you know, I just said to him, look, mate, I've got nothing against you, but all jokes aside, Andy shouldn't have had you in that fight. And he was like, mate, I know. I don't know what Andy was trying to achieve because, of course, Lewis was going to find out how good Manny was after the fight. Well, he found out during the fight. But that's not fair. You shouldn't do things like that to your friends. I've passed comment before on Andy Smith's little step, 2, 3, 4, kick, pivot. Turns out he's quite a keen dancer. He does a lot of dancing in this video.
Well, I hope everyone's great.
Rock away.
I've just seen something on the internet that's amused me.
Does it? Because you look foaming, mate. You look absolutely foaming.
HEDGEHOG, man. Gone live with Lewis. Do you know what, Lewis? What I have to say to you, let's have it right, mate, yeah? He came to stay at my dad's flat.
He looks like a schoolboy that's just been told off with his hands in his pockets, walking like... All right, Andy, so let's start this one again. This is my favourite.
Well, I hope everyone's great. I've just seen something on the internet that's amused me. HEDGEHOG, man. Gone live with...
I am very amusing, thank you for the compliment.
Lewis. Do you know what, Lewis? What I have to say to you, let's have it right, mate, yeah? He came to stay at my dad's flat. Yeah, my dad's flat's damp. We don't have a lot of money.
Damp in the booth.
And lady won't do no repairs, Lewis, but do you know what? I ain't ashamed of the way I'm f***ing real, and do you know what? You never once had a penny when you come to me for your first bare knuckle fight. Who fed you, Lewis?
As his manager, aren't you supposed to support him, big shot?
Who fed you, boy? Who put the trainers on your feet that you've got on your feet, mush? So you want to
pedo thumbs?
Go jumping on lives, slagging me off. Currently enjoying my time in Scarborough. Do you know what? Obviously, Simon Kirk's got his hands on you, and this is... What's
Simon Kirk got to do with any of this? This is all your actions. You're a proper Heggy and all, aren't you?
To you, Simon, as well. You owe my mate a lot of f***ing money, Simon, so you can talk. Try poaching.
Right, now, I don't know if Simon does or doesn't owe anybody any money, right? But Simon Kirk owes my mate a lot of money. To fake Givenchy t-shirt here, right? A lot of money could be £12.
Fighters, I'm not bothered. I'm not here.
You look bothered. You look foaming, and it's brilliant.
To be a bare knuckle promoter. Do you know why I'm here, Simon?
Why are you here? To walk backwards and forwards on the spot and kick and 2 and 3
and... to push myself in the right direction, so everybody can slag me off. So what? The flat's down.
He's like, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Did he just spit out of his mouth there? Come on, Andrew.
Can slag me off. So what? The flat's damp.
What was that? Come on, man, Andy, have a word.
The flat's damp.
I think we'll figure out why the flat's damp anyway. It's covered in his flob.
It is what it is. We're real people. But do you know what, Louis?
We're real people. What does that even mean? Man's real fam. What? Man's talking about his real. I bet his house isn't even damp, fan. What?
Cheers for that, pal. Enjoy your night.
Where are you going? It's your phone.
Shit.
Well, you remember there at the end, didn't he?
But do you know what, Lewis? Cheers for that, pal. Enjoy your night.
Definitely a Snide t-shirt. I've never seen a Snide t-shirt like it in my life. It's not even a Fruit of the Loom with that on.
Shit.
Coming back for his phone at the end's an actual topper.
The duvet man in the building. Fuck all haters were moving, so yeah.
Fuck all the haters were moving. Shout out the fire blanket one time. Man's like Kingsmill loaf. Get me, fam.
Yeah. Right. This year it's fuck all the haters.
This is the same beat.
I'm gonna get cash and buy me the acres.
You're gonna get cash and buy you the acres. I thought you already owned a hill. Where's your hill now? I bet you the hill's damp as well, is it? Where's your hill gone? Where's your hill gone?
All about those bad boy flavours, big razors, we're star entertainers. I don't care whether you like us or haters, we're gonna keep grinding with big wrist.
Right, I'll give you some advice and I'll give you it for free, right? What you need to do is you need to practice some breathing exercises if you're going to try and be any form of live performer, especially if you're doing hip-hop bars or rap bars, because there's no gaps in between for you to take a breath. What you need to do is practice breathing in as deep as you can, fast. The in-breath is fast, and then try and breathe out evenly over a 45-second period so that you've still got some breath left at the end of the 45 seconds. And then if you practice that, when you can do it without rapping, then bring it into your rapping and you'll be able to breathe more easily. There you go.
I had to say no comment in the station, sitting on a wing with the boys impatient. I know it's playing the money that we're making, feeding families all over the nation.
Oh, we've never heard the beat drop yet. You know what it is, right? I can come on here and I can take the piss as much as I want, right? As much as I possibly can. But he's not a bad rapper. He's not. I think his stylist might need shot. Who on earth is this guy?
I've got a little message, so listen.
This is a message out to
That's it. Get the trainers in, big lad. Get the trainers in.
I've got a little message, so listen.
This is a message out to a little ginger who come up here with Nixie, didn't have a set of trainers on his feet, been living in an old man's flat. Now he's next minute, he's calling an old man's flat dirty.
Living in an old man's flat. He was there for a couple of days.
The man's not a millionaire, but
If the flat is dirty, we didn't call it dirty. He said it was damp, and he said that the ceiling was held together with nicotine.
the man put him up and a bit of food, but paid for everything for him. The boy come towards him with no trainers, got to give him a set of trainers to go and have his last fight. I can't.
Is this on +3 or is this guy on speed?
Didn't have a set of trainers on his feet, been living in an old man's flat. Now he's next minute, he's calling an old man's flat dirty. The man's not.
Have you heard Andy Smith's heavy breathing? You can barely hear the lad on camera talking. Listen to the breathing.
I've got a little message, so listen.
This is a message out to a little ginger who come up here with Nixie, didn't have a set of trainers on his feet, been living in an old man's flat. Now he's next minute, he's calling an old man's flat dirty. The man's not a millionaire, but the man put him up and a bit of food, but paid for everything for him. The boy come towards him with no trainers, got to give him a set of trainers to go and have his last.
Right, so what happened is, because Lewis told me about this in great detail, what happened with the trainers is, right, Lewis said, I haven't got any boxing boots for the fight. And Andy said, it's all right, I've got you some. Lewis turned up on the day of the fight, and Andy had him a pair of Nike Airs that was second-hand off his pal to wear in the ring. So let's just get that straight.
Fight. I can't fight, but Andy's my cousin, and that's my uncle. So I want to fight that little ginger prick who was down here with Nixie. I don't know, what's the boy's name?
Lewis O'Donnell.
Lewis,
Doesn't even know his name.
the ginger but the ugly little bastard. I wanted to get him on a fight the next couple of months and we'll have a fight.
Can you hear Andy's breathing?
Let's get it cracking, boys. Nice one, cousin.
Right, I hope everyone's well.
And he's off. Dancing on the spot again. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling really damp.
Just a little message. I want to give my opinion on a certain situation that I've seen on the internet.
And
in the past
kick
few
and
weeks.
two.
So, everybody right now.
And back.
There's a certain man, everyone's trolling him
And
everywhere.
pivot.
His face is all over social media. You all know him, Brett May. I just want to...
You know what he looks like, right? Let's take the sound off this and just let this video play, right? You know what he looks like? He looks like a child has picked up a PS5 controller that he doesn't know the controls for, and he's controlling the character. Look at him, back a bit, wavy hand, forward a bit, back a bit.
Right, I hope everyone's well. Just a little message. I want to give my opinion on a certain situation that I've seen on the internet in the past few weeks. So, everybody right now. There's a certain man, everyone's trolling him everywhere. His face is all over social media. You all know him, Brett May.
As far as I'm aware,
I
no one's trolling Brett May. People are making videos with their opinions about him, but nobody's trolling him.
Actually,
As far as I'm aware.
say, you know, I've got to give Brett May credit. Do you know why? Because he's not once risked his licence conditions. He's not long been out of prison. Tried getting a fight over the line with Danny Christie. Shit went south. Obviously, Danny turned up to Doncaster.
The only thing that went south was, well, actually, the further south Danny came, the further south Brett went.
Brett May played it smart. He lived to
Smart.
fight another day. So I'll tell you what we are doing, Streetwise TV. I've been on the phone to Brett May tonight, and Brett will tell you himself. I'm going to...
Brett will tell you himself. I texted him and then he had to ring me because I didn't have any credit. Get your hand out your pants, you tramp. You're on camera.
see him. Because you know what? I've got to give him credit. He's got a smart head on him. And if I can... Listen, I'm a bit younger than Brett, but if I can give him any of my
There's no way you're younger than Brett.
ideas and he can move forward with them, and I can help him on his social media side of things, because I know people on social media, you all know
Everybody knows someone on social media, you cretin.
that. So there we have it, Brett May.
I know people on social media.
Next 24 hours, Streetwise TV is coming to see you over and over.
So, we weren't on the business page yesterday, but today we're back.
Shout out to Andy Smith's brand new Facebook page, now standing at a staggering 63 likes, everybody. Real bad man.
Just on the way to work. Those of you that don't know, my name's Andrew Smith. I live in a coastal town called Bridlington.
You've been in jail. Don't forget about the jail. What about the jail?
Sell windows, absolutely love it. The thrill of it, whether it's on the doors, on the telephones. I've been on and off for a few years and we make good money. This is Kyle.
Jesus Christ, Kyle.
He's a bit overweight, but
he looks overweight and it's sat next to you even, which is saying something.
if he can keep his belly full and his balls empty, he's down, and this is the big boss as well. Jamie, how we doing, mate? Yeah, Jamie's great. So, on the
Wrong button.
Wrong button again.
way to work, looking at the numbers on the business page, absolutely mental. So, we're going to get work out the way, and then we're heading down to Doncaster to meet the big man, Brett May. So, over and out from us, people. Keep watching.